Um, hey there, my name's Josh Ferraz. How are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you so much for participating in this interview. It'll probably take roughly around 1 to 2 hours, if that's okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
Just to let you know, all your details will be disclosed. So feel free to be as honest as possible. And just one last thing, can I have your permission to record this interview?
Yeah, of course.
Too easy. Can I just ask, I'm just going to start with some background information about yourself. Can you just state your name?
My name's RAMSAY Robertson Kirkwood.
And how old are you, Ramsey?
I'm just about to turn 21 years old.
Do you have an occupation?
I am unemployed at the moment, but I was a bartender.
What's the size of your family?
There's four members.
And what is your ethnicity / background?
I was born and raised in Scotland, and I moved here about 12 or 13 years ago.
Do you live in urban, suburban, or rural areas?
I live in Des Moines, so I'd probably classify it as more of a suburban area.
And lastly, do you consider yourself to be within a low, middle, or high income class?
Most likely middle.
Thank you so much. So I'm just going to ask you some questions regarding your banking experience as a whole throughout your life, as well as the what your perception of the banking industry as of today is. Are you currently associated with a bank?
Yeah, I'm currently a member of NAB Bank.
And did anyone influence you to choose the bank?
It was mostly my parents. They just took me down when I was 12 or 13 and just said, we're going to open you a NAB account, because that was the bank they were with.
Yeah. And is everyone in your family with NAB?
Not anymore. Now I am the only member of my family with NAB.
Fair enough. And what is the most unique aspect of the product offered by NAB, in your opinion?
Well, I haven't had many experiences with other banks, but from the few I've had, I wouldn't say there's anything unique about NAB at all.
Have you thought about changing or moving to another bank?
Recently, yes, because a lot of my family is with ING and I've heard good things about them.
When looking for a new bank, what are the top 3 factors you look for when deciding?
Well, definitely high interest rates, obviously, because that benefits me mostly. Yeah. But also good customer service, but also accessibility to that customer service at any time, really.
Perfect. Have you, by any chance, heard of fintech banking services?
I have not, no.
Okay. It is more so a contemporary form of banking where it's all of its services are online, and there's actually no store involved with the bank. What does that mean anything to you? What do you think about that?
Well, a lot of times, sometimes I just feel like I need to talk to a person to get something done properly, or just quickly. But I'm sure, especially with the way technology is going these days, it's becoming more and more reliable and more accessible. So I'm sure that thought process of mine is just something that I'm hanging on to and something I could easily let go of.
Perfect. And would you prefer traditional banking as to what you are now, or this innovative fintech banking services?
Well, I guess I'm sitting on the fence for this one, which probably isn't helpful, but I could go either way. And I know the future is definitely heading towards the more contemporary style of banking.
Yeah. Now, what aspect of banking traditionally is your most and least favorite?
My most favorite, like I said, is there's still some human interaction where if I have a problem with something, I can go talk to a person about it.
Yep.
My least probably is the obscurity around the investments that banks have. I'm a young person, so there's a lot of social and ethical issues in the world that I believe in, and I want to make sure that the money I put in my bank isn't going to funding certain actions in the world.
And you talk about let's just say the importance of having that face-to-face contact. With regards to NAB, what do you think of their customer service?
Personally, I think their customer service is very good. A lot of stuff for the customer service you can do online. You can talk to someone online via chat, but you can also call them and you can go into person. And I've never had a situation in any of those. I've dealt with all of those aspects of customer service, and I've never had a situation where I've left being annoyed or left the customer service and my issue has not been resolved. So I think the customer service is actually very good.
Do you think there's anything that NAB can do to potentially make it better? If there had to be something, do you reckon?
Well, I know that their chats and the phone lines are very restrictive with their timings.
Yep.
So I'm unsure if that's something that we can really help with, because
yep.
People got to go home from work.
Yeah, exactly. Now I just want to transition to the banking sector within Australia as a whole. Just on the top of your head, can you just name some banks that you are familiar with? Just 4 or 5.
I don't have too many experience with the banks, but I know the big 4. Obviously, you got ANZ, CommBank, NAB, and Westpac. Yep. Other than that, I know ING and also like Bendigo Bank. Yep. I think that's all the banks I know.
And that's all right. In your opinion, which bank is the most and least popular in the industry? Just from the banks you know.
Well, from my personal experience, like with friends and stuff, I definitely think maybe CommBank is most popular.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even know if Bendigo Bank is still a bank anymore, so I might say that they're the least popular.
Fair enough. Your overall perception of NAB, positive or negative one?
Overall, it's mixed, because again, it is one of the big 4 banks. It's a very large corporation.
Yeah.
And that's not something I like to invest in a lot.
Do you believe that NAB tries to focus towards building a relationship with its customers, or do you feel like a disparity between the relationship and all they care about is their profits, or do you think they have a large focus towards their customers?
I definitely feel like they try to pull off the perception that they're very customer based, but yeah. I personally believe that they're a large bank and all they care about is their profits.
Do you often use your financial services?
Yeah, I do use them a lot.
Do you put a lot of effort in searching about what different banks offer before choosing? Do you do a lot of research, or are you, yeah?
Personally, I do not. I've had this NAB bank for almost 9 years or so. So yeah. So I just picked what my parents had and went with it.
So you mentioned before that you are in search of transitioning from NAB to somewhere else. What has made you dissatisfied with NAB services? Why do you want to move?
Well, for one, it's the interest rates. The interest rate I have with NAB is not very good. Even on my savings account, it's not very good. And also, I've been hearing good things about other banks. That's made me think I should probably move over.
Perfect. The accessibility of NAB. Do you feel that you are accessible to? Yeah, you have high accessibility rates towards like gaining assistance if you have any problems?
Yeah, I definitely do feel like they have great access if I have any issues with anything. Like I said, you can call them, you can chat online with a member of the customer service, but you can also just go into a branch.
Sorry, I forgot to mention it before, but are you only with NAB solely, or do you
Yeah, I'm
have
solely with NAB, yeah.
Perfect. Now I'm just going to move towards like the promotional NAB's promotional efforts. In your opinion, do you believe there are sufficient promotional tools implemented by NAB?
I definitely see a lot of promotion from NAB. Obviously, I get a lot of promotional emails about some new services.
Yep.
But also, I do receive a lot of advertisements on when I'm searching like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and even I see them on TV as well. So I definitely feel like there's a lot of promotion around NAB.
Do you pay close attention when you are exposed to an advertisement from them?
I definitely do not. I definitely feel like I'm very desensitized to adverts these days. So I definitely don't pay attention.
Do you believe that NAB is like ineffective, let's say, in targeting a younger audience through their promotional efforts?
Definitely not. I definitely do not believe such.
And let's just say with all banks, are you exposed to many promotional efforts from not just NAB, but by other banks within Australia?
I think I receive a lot of promotion from NAB, ING, and ANZ. Those are the ones I see most often. But even then, it just gets drowned out in all the advertisements these days.
Yep. Do you withdraw cash from ATMs often?
Not super often, but yeah, I do.
Do you think there are many NAB ATMs available to you?
I definitely think there's not many ATMs. Most of the ATMs, I feel like there's never a standalone ATM. It's always an ATM at a branch.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like there could be more ATMs for NAB.
Yep. Now, just lastly, I'm going to talk about something that's incorporated within the business business world, and it's called corporate social responsibility. Are you aware of this term?
No, I am not.
So basically, it refers to a company's efforts to be socially responsible, let's say, and basically being aware of a company's awareness of the social problems that occur within society, and it's basically what do they do to impact these problems, and how they aim to reduce them within society. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the level of trust you feel towards your bank?
The level of trust I feel towards NAB is definitely low. Probably about 3 or
4. The term ethics, what does that mean to you?
Ethics means you uphold a certain level of a certain standard of caring towards other members of the community.
Yep. Do you think the banking industry, not specifically NAB, but all banks are performing ethically?
Definitely not, especially with the inquest into banking and just the general level of obscurity around their investments that they use with my money. Definitely have a level of distrust towards some banks.
Yeah. Are you aware if your bank has ever been involved in an ethical scandal?
Yeah, I believe they were named and shamed in that royal inquest, but I haven't properly researched what their actual involvement or what they actually did.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And knowing that NAB has been involved in the Banking Royal Commission, has that had any impact on your support for the bank or your involvement?
Yeah, it definitely does, because it just shows that they, even though they try to have the perception that they are giving back to the community and upholding certain ethics, that in reality, all they care about is their bottom line.
Yeah. And does it mean much to you when hearing that NAB is classified as one of the big four banks within Australia?
Sorry, what was the question again? Sorry.
No problem. Does it mean does it mean much to you when hearing that NAB is classified as one of the big four banks within Australia?
Not at all, because like I said earlier, the interest rate I have with NAB isn't exactly great. And then when they're part of the big four, it just makes me believe I'm not investing properly in the community. I'm investing in a big corporate body, which I don't exactly like.
Because of that, do you think you'd have more trust in a smaller bank?
I definitely think I'd have more trust in a smaller bank.
Okay. Do you think banks should incorporate CSR within their business model? So do you think banks should be socially aware and socially responsible and contribute to society?
I definitely think that.
In an ethical way?
Yeah, I definitely think that. And I think that doesn't just, that isn't just with banks. That should be with all large corporations. They should all be giving back to the community.
So it's fair to say that you're more attracted to a bank who is socially responsible?
Yes, definitely.
And considering the rest of society, do you believe that a bank who initiates CSR activities will subsequently achieve a greater consumer base? So, do you think a bank who contributes to wanting to change significant social problems will attract more consumers?
I definitely think that, especially with the younger generation growing up, we've seen that they can really rally together for social change. And I definitely think that if a bank came out with large, like giving back to the community a lot, it definitely would increase their customer base.
That's perfect. Ramsay, that's it. Thank you so much for participating. I would just like to reiterate, is it okay for your responses to be utilised for establishing a marketing research report?
Yep, no problem at all.
And you're okay with the recording?
No problem.
Thank you so much. Hopefully you survive the pandemic, and hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of your day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.